checking everything. They're just as at risk of falling as we are when we're installing the roof. So Duralast is a team member of ours. We consider them a partner. We work very closely with them. We rely on them a lot, and they rely on us as well. And so when someone comes up on our project, and I'm going to say project, I'm saying roofing, I'm also talking heating and air conditioning. If someone comes onto our job site, we're responsible for that person as well. When I say responsible, we're not responsible for their pay, we're not responsible for their vehicle, we're not responsible for their job, but because they're working with us to help us accomplish a task, they're part of our team. So we want to make sure that they are safe as well. So if you're working on a project, and we'll say HVAC for example, HVAC doesn't get the inspections that roofing does. They don't go up there and inspect, they don't touch anything, they don't, But if we had an inspector that was checking an electrical box, and we see that inspector do something that's not safe, something that looks, they're gonna get hurt, are we just gonna let them stick their hand in there? I know we might be tempted to, okay? Because they're inspectors, and we don't usually get along with them right well. But I know all of us in here, if somebody's doing something unsafe, you're gonna say, hey, I wouldn't do that. At least give them a chance to be safe, okay? So what we want everybody to do is we want everybody to look to your left, everybody look to your right, okay? You don't always work together, but I'm telling you, this whole group right here is a team. And so if something's out in the parking lot and somebody's backing up and somebody's not paying attention, there's nobody that's just gonna watch that person get hit and get run over, okay? The same thing is true when we're up on a roof. If you're on a roof, you are at risk of getting hurt, plain and simple. And it doesn't matter if you're talking HVAC or if you're talking roofing. If you're up on an elevated surface, you can get hurt. So what we want to make sure everybody's doing is that we're watching out for the other people that we're working with, okay? Nobody wants to have that feeling or to have that in their mind, in their eyes, somebody else falling and getting hurt. We've talked about Jared Grubb's brother up in Bend who saw the guy fall off the roof and died, okay? Nobody wants to go home with that. So what we want to make sure you guys are doing is think about each other. I would want somebody having my back. I know you guys want somebody having yours as well. So if you see something that's happening that's not safe, something that's going to potentially put that person at risk, you need to say something, okay? And you don't wait to say something, you say something right then, right? So that's what we want everybody to make sure they understand is that everybody's going to make a mistake. People are going to forget, okay? But not everybody's going to forget the same time, the same place, over and over again. So you need to make sure you're watching out for your fellow teammates and making sure that everybody can go home safely. And I'm saying that in the shop, driving the forklift, loading up the flatbeds, loading rolls. If you see somebody trying to pick up a roll by themselves and you're available, just go over and help that person pick up that roll so they don't strain their back and get a hernia, okay? If you see somebody trying to pick up sheet metal and they're trying to put it into the shear, help them put it into the shear. There's nothing worse than seeing somebody get cut on their forearms from sheet metal, because that's a cut that hurts for a long, long time, okay? So again, it doesn't matter what the task is. We want to make sure that we're helping each other, watching out for each other, and giving a hand where we can. And if somebody's doing something stupid, call them out on it. Don't let them be stupid. We don't have stupid employees at Pressure Point and Stone Heating and Air. Okay? We got some people that make mistakes once in a while, but they're not stupid. Don't let our smart people do stupid things. Okay? All right. Any questions?
So one of the things I bring up, and some of you guys have probably heard this that when I hired you, we spend more time with each other than we do with our families. Okay? We spend more time here on the job sites, in the office, in the trucks, than we do with our families. We just do. Because when we go home, we're sleeping, we're eating, and that's about it. We come back to work, right? That's our American life. Woo-hoo. Okay? It's just the way we are. So you guys know each other. If you're on a crew with somebody, you know who they are, you know who their wife is, you know who their kids are. Remember that when you're trying to keep them safe. I need to keep them safe because I know that. If you want that family looking at you and saying, hey, what happened? Well, I didn't tell them to watch out. You don't want to do that. That's our number one thing is we don't want you guys getting hurt. You guys don't want to get hurt. It's not fun. you know, we got downtime with the business, you're hurt, it's pain. We need to make sure we're keeping that to a minimum. It's gonna happen, it is, but if we can help out by being with each other and saying, hey, we're a group, we're a team, I don't want you to get hurt. I went to your son's soccer game and watched him play. You don't wanna have to do that when your buddy's, you know, in a wheelchair or not alive. Just not worth it. So please watch out for everybody. That's really what we're pointing out here is we spend a lot of time with each other. We're basically family. This is the American family, right? Got a bunch of brothers around here.
Yep.
So let's watch out for each other and keep ourselves safe.
Hey, anybody, so Top Gun Maverick, everybody raise their hand that's seen it. Has everybody seen it? Okay. Most. So you remember in the movie when they're doing their training runs and they're going through and they have their 300-foot elevation that they can't go below or whatever it is, and they're going through the canyons and I think his name's Coyote is going through and they're like, we need to speed up, and so he goes, okay, and then he pushes it up and then he goes, oh crap, and he pulls back the throttle and the pilot behind him has to go up, okay, and Tom Cruise they're debriefing and he goes, what happened? And Coyote says, I slowed down and I didn't tell her. And he says, first he says, why are they dead? He says, why are they dead? And she says, we went above the 300-foot mark, we were taken out by a SAM, something like that. And he says, no, why are they dead? And he's looking at Coyote and he says, I slowed down and didn't tell her. He goes, why didn't you communicate with your team? Okay? And he says whatever he says, and then he looks at the female pilot and he says, why is he dead? And she starts to say something and he goes, one that his family will accept. Okay? So that's the one thing that we'll all have to be accountable for is, like Brian said, we know each other's families and things like that. Nobody wants to say, I didn't tell him to put his harness on. You know, it would have taken 30 seconds. And it could have avoided a tragedy. Okay? So that's why we're talking safety. That's why Brian and the other guys are going around checking out your job sites. If you're not wearing your harness, you're going to hear about it. Okay? It's not because we personally want you to wear a harness. It's because we want you to be safe. It's not business-like. Personally, we want you to be safe. We personally want you to be able to go home to your family. Okay? We personally care about you. We love you guys. We want you guys to be safe. We want you to do the job well, and we want you to be able to do it for a while. And we want you to be able to be with your families for a long time. Okay? So be safe. Look out for each other. If you see somebody being stupid, say something. Because you don't want to go home with that guilt. Okay? All right. Does anybody have any questions? Seeing none? Okay.